Hi, this is Dr. Lewerenz at Longevity Health Institute. Hope you're well. Me and my staff here at Longevity Health Institute, my providers and myself, and Lewerenz Medical Center, always bringing you the best in integrative, functional, personalized, that's the key part, personalized wellness medicine, preventative medicine, and looking at the root cause always of everything. I want to talk to you today about toxins, the importance of getting rid of toxins, detoxifying, avoiding toxic effects on the body, and getting rid of the burden of toxins and what they do to us and to our body, and some recent studies on cancer and the effects of heavy metals and toxins. So a couple things is this. We have a systems approach here. We always look at 6 main systems. We always consider with every patient, I don't care if you come in the door with cancer, a cold, a hip problem, fatigue, hormonal imbalance, a thyroid condition, need to lose weight, need to gain muscle, low energy, low libido, makes no difference. We're still looking at you all in a systems approach at the root cause and at main physiologic systems, meaning you can't avoid these. If you skip over a system, you're only as good as your weakest link, okay? It's physiology, it's the way the body works, that's the way you have to look at this stuff, okay? So regardless of why you come in, we are going to talk about this. Everybody, we consider genetics, hormonal balance, diet and digestive health, mind-body interaction and stress, structural pain issues. And then what we're going to talk about today is toxins and how your liver and body detoxify, okay, and avoiding toxins. So a recent study came out called the Sister Study, and it was roughly a 10-year study on women, white and African American, that actually over 45,000 women were evaluated, and women that actually used hair dye in their life and did hair straighteners, African American women and white women, had a very significant increase in breast cancer. So there's a very significant tie in this Sister Study. It was called the Sister Study. You can Google it and read about it. That showed that hair dyes and highlighting hair and using dyes on your head and hair and straightening your hair actually are very linked to breast cancer. In white women, it was actually about a 10% increase, and the study value was a very significant study, p-value we call it, meaning this is a very quality study, a 10-year study on 45,000 women. African American women had an increase of 45% if they dyed their hair. So this is something that we really have to really look at and consider. There is, by the way, natural alternatives to dyeing and highlighting and straightening hair, okay? So talk to your hairdresser, look at natural approaches for this for women out there, share this with your loved ones and friends and family, okay? Because this is super key, okay? I think there's a big link. But I also believe it's due to just in general toxins. Toxins have a big burden on our body. People often think, well, how did I get cancer? How did I get breast cancer? Well, I don't have genetics, and I know hormones I hear quote unquote are bad for you, which I always preach and tell you and teach you. The imbalance of hormones is what's bad, okay? And we live in a very imbalanced hormone society, and we have a lot of endocrine hormone disruptors in the environment, including heavy metals and chemicals and bisphosphonates and on and on. I could talk organophosphates, etc. So these are all bad for us, okay? Formaldehyde is one of the sources that's in hair dye. So the thing though is to avoid them, but the also thing is to make sure that you very efficiently detoxify. And that is a process of first pooping. Sounds funny, sounds goofy, whatever, but if you're not eliminating daily, once or twice a day, you are not detoxifying. If you don't participate in exercise and sweat, okay, that's a form of detoxifying. Sweating, okay. Fasting is a form of helping you detoxify, okay. But you first have to eliminate and put it in the toilet. And the second thing is doing specific protocol-driven, which we do here at Longevity Health Institute, detoxification protocols, things you take that flush out your liver, that help you methylate, can help you get rid of burden of chemicals, organophosphates, heavy metals, etc. And sometimes we have to take it to another level to get rid of things like arsenic and lead and mercury and things like using by like chelation that sometimes we have to do IV, okay? You can do it orally, but IV is much more effective. But the start of detoxification is pooping and sweating, meaning exercising, okay, using infrared saunas, and doing liver cleanses and liver detoxes, and also avoiding the toxin. Now, how do we test people with heavy metals and chemicals and stuff? Typically, they're urine tests, and we check all of your chemicals. We check all of your heavy metals. And often it's not if you're toxic, it's how toxic, okay? And just like this study showed, there's a big link to breast cancer. And I think if more and more studies were done with this, that had a very, very qualified, good, large 10-year, 20-year study, you would see that a lot of cancers are associated to toxins with poor immunity and hormonal imbalance, etc. So when a doctor and a practitioner looks at you, if they look at all of these things and look at you in a whole to keep you well, which is what we do here, even when we do a hormone replacement protocol, okay? Very interesting thing is this. Big in the media, and I'm sure you've all heard about this, is vaping. And vaping, is the trend, and yes, getting bad chemical junk at head shops and the gas station for vaping, of course, they're gonna have chemicals and things in these things, and that's just a given. But the interesting thing was this, as a study recently came out that showed that there's a link in these pulmonary and cardiovascular young individual incidents, and even now a suggested cancer link with vaping, especially when it's THC. And the reason is because the coil in the vaporized pen, the coil for THC, you have to heat that thing up, okay? So if you're doing medicinal marijuana or you're using a vape pen that has a coil that has to heat up to actually give you the vapor and to have you inhale this stuff, okay, whatever it is, it's not just what the vapor and the solution and the THC and the marijuana and the CBD and I could go on and on, what that is. That potential coil is linked now to heavy metals. And they did studies and they were seeing that actually you're putting lead, cadmium, arsenic into your body, okay, because you're heating this coil, and that coil is releasing heavy metals in the vaporized pen. And when you vape, you put it in your lungs, which then absorbs in your body. So there was a big link in pulmonary and cardiovascular incidences and disease. And this is even in young people, 20, 30-year-olds, okay, that were vaping. But also, I'm telling you, if the studies went further on and on and on, we would actually show a link to cancer over the years, okay? Anytime you put something toxic and a heavy metal in yourself, you're looking for trouble, okay? So obviously, don't vape. I don't care if it's CBD, organic, or whatever, because actually the method of the vaporized pen that heats up is probably a bad thing, okay? So consider these things when you're trying to be well and be preventative. Stay away from toxins. Use natural sources on your skin and hair, okay? Eat organic, free-range stuff. Eat non-processed foods that are not in cans and plastics and such, okay? And see a practitioner like ourselves that can help you develop protocols that help you detoxify and eliminate chemicals and heavy metals, because it's not if you have them, it's how much you have them. And if you're worried about cancer and being well and being preventative, it's not just about taking a vitamin and actually making sure you feel good and be optimal. We're all about that. But it's about the whole system in your body working well. And that's what we always work on. We solve your goals and what you're here for. Then we have goals, which is to put you into a wellness preventative model. And that's what works, and that's what keeps you well forever. And that's what gives you longevity, and that's what gives you quality of life for you and your loved ones. Share this with others. Make sure you inform your friends, family, loved ones to be very careful and get some insight onto hair dye and hair straighteners, and quit vaping. This is Dr. Lewerenz, Longevity Health Institute. Me and my practitioners always here serving you, serving the community, doing the right thing, okay? And we love what we do, and that's why we do it right. This is Dr. Lewerenz. Be well.